Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. And I hope everybody is having a great weekend. Let's get this show started here, and we're going to start it with.
Whoa, fuck the Eagle.
That's right. Fuck the Eagle. Oh,
Oh,
Vado.
this.
Shout out to Vado with the good old "fuck the Eagles," and it's great to actually be here with my friends. We started this program right after the season ended, and we were all moaning and groaning and bitching and whining and cussing out Jerry Jones, and we've continued to do this every Sunday until, of course, a couple of weeks ago when we shifted it to Saturday. And I'm curious to see how the tone has changed because last week it was ugly. It was ugly because we were talking about the Cowboys after losing to Tampa Bay. And let me say hello. I see Rock is the first one there. What's up, Rock? How you doing?
What's up?
Man, you got the camera
Not
kind
much.
of kind of high up there, man.
I'm trying to get high. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I figured. Okay, I figured you were hanging out with I Love Weed and stuff. How you feeling today?
I'm doing good.
Shout out to Angelica Barron and Alicia Morgan. How you doing? Are you feeling better than last week about the team? Rock, are you feeling better about the team from last week?
My bad. Yes, I do. Way better.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't have no doubts on our defense. It was just to see how Cooper would take it and
Mm-hmm.
would it clicked with with our coordinator. So everything went well.
All right. Well, let me check in with some of the other people in here. I know Prime Time fills in. Prime Time, your mute. Your mic is muted there. Prime Time. You
What's
and
going
Game
on, guys?
Time.
How's
You,
everybody?
you and Game Time got your show here tonight, and
Yeah, again at 7 o'clock.
the tone is going to be different than last week. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, where both of us thought that the Cowboys were going to lose, and we may think that the Cowboys will win. So yeah, I think the tone is totally different because we definitely knew that Cooper Rush could do, was capable of doing some
Mm-hmm.
stuff if everything else aligned. So it's good to see things are on a nice track. It's just, of course, I keep rotating everything around Kellen Moore, man. Kellen Moore, Kellen Moore.
Well, it's funny because Jerry Jones set off the smoke alarms yesterday, of course, or the day before, talking about a quarterback controversy and everything else. You already had people who, after the first half of the game, were like, "Dak's not the guy. Cooper in Rush we trust."
Waiting for the moment.
Yeah, in fact, somebody had commented about an hour or so on one of my videos. They said they saw about a proposed trade for Dak Prescott going to Seattle. And so I scanned the web and I found it's heavy.com. A proposed trade would have Dak Prescott going to Seattle because Jerry Jones believes in Cooper Rush. And I'm just like, wow, here we go. It's amazing that anytime anybody is disgruntled, anybody becomes a free agent, that automatically they're tied to the Cowboys. It's not like the Cowboys end up grabbing everybody, like, say, the Eagles or something.
Well, I think it's just crazy too is that these people are the ones that are very quick to offer a trade when one game goes by compared to seasons, but
Hmm.
yet are quick to say how foolish they were to trade them off and all that stuff as soon as they have one good game. So
Right. Yeah.
it's everybody they make their own headlines.
Well, I guess that's true and all. All right, so we've got the New York Stinking Giants, who are actually very, very beat up, who averaged 3.7 yards per play, not running the football, per play last week. And they've got two of their receivers out, and Leonard Williams is out, looking like he's going to be out as well, their pass rusher. And they are 2.5 point favorites. And I want to go to Brother Roz because he is the Rain Man when it comes to statistics. What's up, Rain Man? Stop picking your eye. Get your finger out your eye.
Um, yeah. Uh, this week the Giants suck.
Are you awake?
Now, I've been up since 3:30. Took the wife to the airport. You know.
Oh, okay. Oh, so party at your house tonight?
Yeah, yeah. Bring your own everything. Um,
Okay.
Giants. Look, the Giants are going to be able to run the ball. Let's not mistake the fact that they can run the ball, but their tackles are their only real good linemen, and they're going to be a little bit busy, I would think, assuming that Mr. Sniffles shows up.
Mr. Sniffles, he actually tweeted not long ago, and he was basically saying, I can't remember the exact tweet, but I know I retweeted it. Something about how much mental reps he does. So he sees this in his head. I'm going to actually say the Cowboys, what's lost in the mix of, Micah Parsons being, the guy that he is. Micah Parsons has also benefited from the fact that we actually have defensive tackles now. If you actually look through and see Micah Parsons sacks, what you'll notice is what used to happen with the Dallas Cowboys defensive line was like the parting of the Red Sea. They would get great pressure on the outside, and the quarterbacks would be able to step up. But right now, between Quentin Bohannon and OC and Carlos Watkins and all the defensive linemen, they're actually holding their gaps. So when Micah gets upfield like crazy, there's no place for the quarterback to go. And I dare say that the Cowboys, the first game against Leonard Fournette did get a lot of yards and stuff, but they clamped down pretty good this past week on the running game. And the Giants may not be able to run quite as effectively as you think that they will. Am I wrong on that, Roz? Prime time? Anybody? Everybody's muted.
No, you're not wrong.
Nah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I was just joking on this week.
He was like listening. He was listening while you took us on a nice little journey, Mark.
I'm sorry. I was just Roz was saying that the Giants can definitely run the football, and I understand.
I agree.
Barkley has had 6.1 yards per carry, but I don't
That's
know.
okay.
I don't know that. Here's the thing: do we know that Tennessee is a good team anymore?
Yeah, see,
After losing,
They haven't looked good. They haven't
rule
looked
number
good.
one, though, Mark.
I know
is
it's still
always-
September.
Tennessee.
Rule number one
who
is
else did they beat?
always don't take the last game and pretend like it's the same.
I agree. Yeah, because it's a
So-
week-to-week league.
even for us.
So Barkley, it's more important to focus on Barkley, the tackles they have. I forgot they have a really good guard on the right side, but the problem is, like I said, they're going to be busy with Lawrence and Micah,
Flowers.
which is why.
Not even. Hey, it'll be a lot. Yeah.
I go no RE4. Mark Holmes, you're a GOAT. Believe it or not, absolute legend. Well, shout out to you on that one. Welcome to the chat. I don't think I've seen you before. Angelica Baron, what's up? Christopher, what's going on, man? It must be warm where you're at, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Shit, it's
I mean,
cold
I'm
up
in
here.
Texas.
Shit.
No, Fort Worth.
I'm about, look, I filled up the propane tanks because I got to get out the patio heaters out here, man, because it's cold.
Yeah, I'm in Texas. So I'm over here in Granbury.
Okay, all right, yeah, you're still burning up from the summertime.
Okay, you
and all.
down the street.
Well, you'd be burning up with that weed anywhere you were at there, right? Oh, man.
Smoke every day.
All right, well, so Roz, you're the numbers guy, and I've been loving. I want to say thank you very much. A lot of the information that I've gotten, I've actually gotten from Roz going through and crunching the numbers from Pro Football Focus. Sometimes Pro Football Focus is spot on. Sometimes, like everybody else, they miss some things. But we've actually been able to get some really good numbers, and shout out to Roz for actually doing them to me. And that's why I call him like Rain Man, because he is really, really good with analyzing it. And Rock is over there choking on the weed, man. Look. Somebody else.
I got a question for Roz.
What's that?
And I got a question for Roz. Hold on.
He's like, Rock, what kind of shit you got, man?
Hey, no, but you trust Daniel Jones more than Cooper Rush? Because I trust Cooper Rush.
I agree with you on
Man,
that one.
ain't nobody on the planet trusts Daniel Jones.
But they hype him. They hype the Giants like
Well,
they're
they
number
have
one
to
in
Their
hype
own
him.
the
He's
fans
New
hyping
York.
the Giants up.
Spike it. Spike that shit.
There's the mailman.
What up?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Man, look.
What's
Roz
up?
looks
What's up, Brian Green?
Roz is up here rubbing his eye. Brian looks like he just got up from a nap. Rock is over
I
here
did.
choking on some weed.
I did,
What
man.
the
I just got up from a
hell? What
nap.
the hell's going
So
on
I'm
around
waking up.
here?
I was up at
late
4:30
Saturday is
this
what it
morning.
seems
Some
like.
people work.
Damn. What the hell's going on with you guys, man?
Falling
It's
apart,
one of
bro.
those days.
hey
All right, look, hey,
Saturday.
Mark,
I went on, baby.
Wait, I gotta say something though. What's
Okay.
going on with the fantasy? Why we ain't doing nothing with the fantasy?
What do you mean doing nothing? What do you want to do?
We're playing
Like,
games every
like
week.
what? You know what I'm saying? No, but we should do like, maybe everybody be live when we're on. Try to talk about it.
Okay.
I don't know, just
I
You
haven't
That's how we're going
actually
to
had
interact more.
You
Yeah,
gonna
with
take the
fantasy
socks
football.
off?
Yeah.
You gonna keep the socks on?
time. Well, we can start doing that stuff. Maybe we'll get a.
You sure?
Well,
Okay.
A, it's having enough time to do this stuff, but B,
yeah.
maybe we'll have after this game this week. Maybe we can see if we can do like a recap of how we're doing. I think I'm right around 500 without my quarterback Dak Prescott. Which is
Well, you're
kinda
about to lose
surprising.
this week versus me. On
Oh, I'm
Jobu
playing
3.
you. Oh, you about to Rock? Who do I have starting against Rock?
Garoppolo.
I got
You got
Jimmy
Garoppolo
G.
against them, yeah.
Who you got
Yeah.
as quarterback?
Kyler Murray.
Okay, all right. So we
So
can
Rock
talk
has
don't you
a
be
about
pretty
it.
worrying.
team.
Don't you be worrying about that. Don't you be worrying about it.
Don't
I
okay.
know.
Oh,
I know,
hold on, Rock. You're
Mark,
facing off.
I know.
He's
I'm
off two of
facing
them.
him. Yeah, it's not. I'm not really playing Mark. I'm playing really.
Yeah, you're playing Brother
Yeah.
Roz, really, actually. Watch out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
well,
know. I've been watching what he's been doing. So
okay.
Hey, Marley
Real
Green, if
quick,
you're out there,
Mark.
I'm playing you.
Okay, if we can get one at a time. Go ahead, Ross.
So I just wanted to close out the Barkley mention.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he got
So
love.
Go.
Barkley has done what he has done, while the Giants have officially become the worst run blocking team in the NFL.
Okay.
So that's why I was saying he'll be able to run. I'm not saying he's going to run well.
So you're
I
saying he's
just wanted
Barry
you to
Sanders.
understand that that's going to be their major game plan. Daniel Jones
Mhm.
is not going to win this game.
They're going to use the running game.
Yeah, Barkley's like this. He'll run and get one. He'll run, get -2. He'll run, get 3, and then he'll bust off a 20-yard run. So,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we just got to not give up the big run, and we'll be fine. Their offensive
on.
line is not good.
Hold on. He said that their offensive line is the worst, but he is the best running back. Is that what he
Well,
said?
no, I mean,
No.
he-
Not
Their
Barry
run
Sanders.
blocking
He
is
reminds me
worst
of Barry
rated.
Sanders in a way. It's just he's very explosive. If he gets the ball in space, you could be in trouble.
True.
He will break off 1 or 2,
Good runs.
15
But I don't
plus
know.
runs.
I feel like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way that we tackle, I feel like we'll do a good job of containing them.
Well, we gave
fly
up
to
a
the
long
ball.
run last week. I mean, that was
We
against
said the same thing
Mixon.
against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. But as long
Right.
as we don't consistently give up the 5-yard run, the 4 and 5-yard run, setting up 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, we're going to be fine.
Right, as long as we can get off the field.
Yeah, I'm worried about
We just
Cooper
get
on the
off
road
field.
this week. I think it'll be,
Right.
I mean,
right.
I heard him say he trusts Cooper more than Danny Jones.
Yeah.
Listen,
right.
I agree with you
Against these
there,
defenses.
but Danny will use his feet and frustrate you. Now, I don't think it's going to do much against our defense as fast as we are. Knock on wood, we show up ready to go, which I assume we will. I assume Parsons is good to go. He's missed a couple of days of practice. But
Will he help you?
I don't think Rush is any threat to run at all. So it's like, okay, you better be ready to roll. You better be able to throw the ball because you can't get away with winning on the road just running the ball. You have to make some throws.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what the crowd's like for the Giants because them starting out 2-0, they haven't started out like that in a long time, and it's supposed to be the whiteout for them for the crowd, and they're basically trying to say show up and be loud and proud. The question is, will Cooper Rush get a good game plan again 2 weeks in a row from Kellen Moore? Will Dak Prescott be helping to
let me go on record, Mark, to say that I don't think that the game plan was very good last week. It turned out okay, but he's still doing this negative Mickey Mouse shit in the backfield where we're driving and then we're getting -8.
No yards,
We won despite
Kellen Moore.
Again last week.
At least we didn't do any trick plays in the back.
Well, we did a couple, but nothing.
We did.
Yeah. Remember the one in the back? Like, we were moving the ball. All of a sudden, he decides out of nowhere to do this handoff in a 6 yard, 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I don't understand that. Throw that play away. It's not working. It's not. So I wasn't happy with Kellen Moore last week. It was almost one of those situations where he lucked into how, I'm worried more this week because we had to slow the game last week. I understand. I mean, our defense played unbelievably last week, and it was still a close game, and we gave up the lead. So, I'm worried about what's he going to do against the Giants? Is he going to try and get cute?
I hope actually we get a little more conservative and go ahead and put it basically on
that's
our
what
defense.
I'm saying.
Yeah, you're on the road. Run the football, okay? Pound between the tackles. Let that offensive line move forward, and then start play actioning. Start using, of course, Tony Pollard in space. Doesn't look like Dalton Schultz is going to play this week, so you're going to have...
Yeah, I'm hearing all kinds of things, but that's all smoke and mirrors, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you got Hendershot, and you've got, of course, Jake Ferguson, which would be their first the Ferguson's first shot of actually being the starter at tight end. And if they do 12 personnel, Hendershot. So I'm hoping that we don't try and get too cute where we're going to make a couple of mistakes. To me, I don't see how the Giants offense should be able to score more than 10 or 12 points against that defense unless, we have a couple of catastrophic breakdowns.
Yeah, I mean, I see us doing very well, but I could see us giving up a big play. I could see something stupid happening. I mean, they do have some speed. I could see something happening where we give up an easy touchdown. So we're going to give up some points. That's all I was saying. We can run the ball, but there's nothing more frustrating than dominating the ball and then going into halftime up 6-3 or 10-6. You want to open up a little something because on the road you're just opening the door for, I mean that is an NFL team and they're 2-0. Yes. Don't give them any encouragement. I would like to see them get like couple score lead. Thank God we had that last week because we had that cushion. Now I'm not saying the Giants are going to be able to come back like Cincinnati did, but you want to get the 2-score advantage so our defense can really eat and go after Daniel Jones, and he will give you the ball.
Well, you definitely want to.
Yeah.
You know what I find funny here? It's how quickly the trolls end up changing. I'm looking at Rush We Trust with Dak It's Discuss. Rush can win by throwing. He can throw more than they ran both wins.
Well, maybe they should get a tattoo of it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You really like Rush.
They really believe in it.
If you're on that hill, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody saw my video, but I'm tired of. I'm already tired of it. I'm already tired of the national media. I'm tired of fans who are uninformed. Rush is not going to win 10 games in a row, people. It's not going to happen. He can win you a game here or there.
We have, you never know.
He could win you a game here on there. If you're going to put your hopes and dreams on a guy that nobody wanted, that we didn't even want, and released, and then brought back, all of a sudden now he's going to teach Dak something.
Yeah, and the Giants also released Rush.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, come on now. Don't let these talking heads who don't want to talk positive about the Cowboys, they just want to talk negatively, that they get off on it. And now we got some of these so-called fans that are saying the same thing. That just tells me you don't know what you're watching. So,
Well, these same guys that are now telling you that Dak could learn from Cooper Rush were basically saying that Cooper Rush had no chance to win, 2 days before.
Whatever. No.
yeah, isn't that funny?
It's all
2
about
days
game
ago,
planning, though.
yeah, they were going to lose. They had no
Exactly.
chance on that game. I knew it would be close games. Did I think they would win? No. But I thought it would be close, and I said it could go either way if it worked out the perfect way.
Yeah.
And it worked out perfectly for them, and they still almost blew it with Cooper Rush. Now they won the game, so I'm excited.
Oh, we got stone cold in the second half till that last drive.
Yeah, I mean,
Man,
we were hanging
There
on.
was an
freezing
interception
cold.
there that was dropped.
And I want to hear everybody in here whose backside wasn't all tight. After we,
Well, we was all right until that
it was all
that
even
Schultz
up.
fumble.
And then we had a
Oh, I was nervous at the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
and they got the ball, and then Diggs made that play behind the line of scrimmage. It's funny, I don't hear no shit talking about Diggs now.
Yeah.
I want to see who else. I want to see who else is going to guard Jamar Chase and keep him to under 20 yards receiving.
Well,
He had 2
nobody.
catches for 14
Right.
yards.
Nobody.
Yeah, I want to see
David
Sam Williams
Puno.
go. Sam
No one's
Williams.
talking
shout
that
out to-
stuff. Yeah.
David Puno. What's up, David?
So, it's just frustrating time because as soon as we really can't even enjoy the win because then we're talking about like Cooper Rush. It's like, did anybody watch the game? Okay, yeah, he made a couple great throws, and Dak needs to play better. Dak has to be better than he did week 1. Nobody's saying he can't. And as far as learning something, I think anybody
Be
who's
careful.
anybody that's on the sidelines not playing, they should learn something. But he ain't learning nothing from Cooper Rush. What's he learning from
He
Cooper
taught
Rush?
everything. He taught him everything.
He was
You make a
nervous
good
as hell
point.
in that second half. Don't
you
get me
make a
wrong.
good
He made
point.
a great throw on 4th down in the first half, and he made another great throw to Noah Brown, of all people. I mean, he made a couple good throws. That's all it took that game. Was 2 good throws.
Well, so we still have the ghost of Amari Cooper. That is
Yeah, he's haunting the site.
The thorn in the
I don't
side
really
there.
care.
Well,
here's the thing with you. Have you guys noticed? I thought actually last year or last couple of years that Jerry Jones was stepping further away from the Cowboys. It seems like he's actually stepping more in the forefront than ever before. It's like we had from Dak being back in week 4, and now we got, Cooper Rush and quarterback controversy. He is like on steroids with all of the quotes right now. He is going
He's stirring up the pot. He's stirring up the pot. He's making,
Listen,
making money
man.
out of it.
I'm gonna say this one last time. I already said it once. I made a video yesterday on my mail route. That check, that Super Bowl check that he wrote, that shit's been cashed, man. We can't talk about anything in the past anymore. We're done with talking about what we did because it means nothing today. Until we win another one, people, it's going to be suffering for us, for all of us having to deal with it. We need to stop. We need to win another. I'm sorry, Jerry. You need to shut your mouth. I don't care how much money you're making. I don't care how much money you're making. But listen, he's looking like a fool at this point. He's starting to remind me like Al Davis.
Oh, I've said that now. Yeah, Al Davis got crazy.
He's starting to ramble on about stupid shit and
doesn't have
glory
the Band-Aid
hole,
on the forehead
and
now.
he wants some of this. And dude, just stop it. At this point, it's getting embarrassing. Like, when are they going to put some tape over his mouth? He can make all the money in the world. He needs to stop. You haven't won shit in 27 years.
Yeah,
you really haven't. You've won a couple playoff games.
Well, he's won the battle of winning money.
Well, that's great, but to the real people, he's so rich he don't know what he don't know. He considers a win is when he picks up Telemundo to carry his preseason games over in Puerto Rico or wherever.
He said Telemundo.
Puerto Rico.
I'm going to ask a real question here.
Mexico.
Oh, I'm going to ask a real question for Rush We Trust with Dak is discussed. When Cooper Rush has that shitty game and everybody's calling for Dak, are you going to continue to be Rush We Trust or are you going to change it to something else?
It's clickbait, but it is what it is. Dak, okay. Yeah, Dak in the playoff game who ran through 2 people to get into the end zone against Seattle. That Dak, you think Cooper Rush could have did that? No. Come on.
But look at
You
Wilson. Wilson's not even doing that well. Come on, dude. This is.
I mean, listen, Dak will be fine. I just listen. We need Cooper Rush. That's what a backup quarterback's job is to do: is not lose you the game and make a couple
Right.
throws to win the game. We're not talking. You're not putting the team on your shoulder and going out winning the game. We got to change the game plan for Cooper. We got to, and it's funny, Mark, because all I'm hearing, after that game was, wow. I even had it was on like one of the ESPN.
Oh, the Brian show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were like 12 personnel. Look at
Brian
this.
show.
Yeah, 12 personnel. 12 personnel. I know I heard that
Even
somewhere.
agreed.
Didn't we used to talk about
It's
that?
personal. Okay.
Yeah.
How many all off season? I screamed 12.
We are
personnel.
talking about it
12
since before last
personnel.
playoff
God.
game.
Game time, Brian's about to
Last
slap a
year.
bitch.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like they wouldn't.
Ranted for
drinking
like
my
10
energy
minutes.
drink
Good thing you
here.
got
I have
that
to
rant
wake
out
up.
before our
Okay,
show.
all right. I'm going to talk about. Now we did touch briefly
I'll calm down.
on
I was-
Amari.
I'm messing. I'm messing.
I'll stay quiet.
No, I like it.
I love it, dude. I'm messing with
You're
you, man.
hype.
Hell yeah,
You're
dude.
doing good.
Jerry Joe's a pain in the ass.
I'm
He's at that
cranky. I'm
age where
tired.
he ends up saying
I can't
things.
tell.
You're just like, dude, will you stop?
All right, I'm going to
I get it.
say.
Yeah.
Okay, so we touched briefly on Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper, 2 games back to back with 100 yards and receptions. Something no Brown receiver has done since like 2010, I think, or something like that. So having back to back.
Yeah, somebody made a stat that he hadn't done that in 6 years. Is that true?
Well, I don't know. Maybe
I find that hard to believe that Amari Cooper hadn't
I
had.
think.
I think
I'd
they
have to
got
Oh,
go
he
it
did it in
wrong.
the Dallas Cowboys. He almost got 1,000.
I thought so too, but
Yeah, no, he did,
people
no.
throw out stats. I'm not
Yeah.
a stat
No,
boy.
it's
I
the
would have to
Browns.
look
The
into
Browns.
it.
The Browns hasn't had 200
Yeah, I thought
yards
that's what it was.
in
But somebody says, "Oh
2013.
no, Amari Cooper
2013.
had 2 back-to-back 100-yard games." I'm like, that's
they
bullshit.
The Browns have not had the
Not you,
same
Mark.
receiver.
Somebody else was saying it.
All right, so
Yeah.
Amari, we look like we've lost on, but looking at Lyle Collins, that looked like it was a smart move getting rid of Lyle, right?
You're not going to hear anything about that, though.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not going to hear that.
As far as Connor Williams,
McGovern.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm
Brother
kind of glad we
Ross
got rid
is
of
here.
him. Yeah.
Basically, his numbers are almost identical to
Brother Ross.
Biotish at center.
Yeah, one's better at running blocking, and
And
one
one's
better
better at
is
pass
better.
blocking.
Yeah,
Exactly. So-
Basically a push.
So you're looking at it from that standpoint, unless he was going to play guard.
And
still.
I would say the penalties are better without him. So it's actually a win.
Well, the only spot we had penalties really on the offensive line was week 1 was Terrence Steele had 4.
Yeah.
And another one.
And that game was horrendous. This past week he played great. You didn't hear his name called at all. That's when you know an offensive lineman is doing good, is you don't hear his name.
Yeah, well, talking about Amari Cooper, Mark, you brought him up. Nobody, I don't care that he's gone.
Yeah.
But
Thank
if you can't admit that you should have gotten more for him, then number one, your stubborn owner or GM or whoever Jerry's speaking as these days. Number one, you lost a trade because you should have got better than a 5th round pick. Okay. That's the bottom line. If not, then your pride got in your way from doing your job, sir.
There's a reason. Okay, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's 2 schools of thought. You've got Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones saying you can't build a team through free agents. Okay, and so we could look at Cincinnati and say Cincinnati said we've got a problem on our offensive line, and they went out and they spent a whole bunch of money on their offensive line. We knew that we were having problems, and our offensive line wasn't anywhere near what it used to be. We knew we had problems with Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith was not the problem that they thought they were going to have. They thought replacing Lyle Collins and Connor Williams were going to be the issue, as well as Biotic. So you actually look at it now, that the draft pick getting Tyler Smith, and I dare say at this point, Tyler Smith is playing better than anybody who has come in relief of Tyron Smith since
he's only going to get better.
And he's only going to get better. In fact,
because
you look at this and say, okay, the biggest problem we have right now is the left guard. And if you insert Jason Peters, maybe he's better than Fournier, right?
He is better than Fournier. He can roll out of bed and be better than Fournier.
So in some regard, if that in case does work, you could look and say our offensive line might actually be better later in the season than it was last year. Definitely better than it was at the end of the season last year.
Yeah, absolutely you
But we
can.
got
And that's
killed.
without.
We got killed for letting go Connor Williams and Lyle Collins.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to hear that though. You know how it works.
Yeah.
You're only going to hear the clickbaity shit. You didn't resign Lyle Collins. Well, what has Lyle Collins done? Nothing. He's done squat. Less than squat. He almost got his quarterback killed. And
their quarterback
in 2
may be
straight
killed.
games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fact. You saw what Michael Parsons made him look like, and then after the game, he comes over. If I was the coach of Cincinnati, when you almost got my $100 million quarterback, or soon to be, or $400 million quarterback,
right?
Get his head taken off. You're over there yucking it up on the sideline after the game with the Cowboys doing their interviews, dude. Come on, man.
Brian, this is
Brian, this is a different NFL than what I grew up with. So you got to understand, I grew up with it. Cowboy players were Cowboy players. People didn't work out in Florida and Arizona and stuff in the off season and hang out buddy. It's a different world now. So the whole yucking.
I know, Mark. I come from the school of if you are friends, you don't talk that week. You ain't buddies that week,
right?
You wait.
No, we got smoke.
What I mean?
We got smoke.
You revisit it later, like after the season or a couple of weeks later. Yeah, we're not yucking it up on the sideline. It's just a different era. You are right there. You are.
Yeah. I'm changing my Netflix password and everything. Yeah.
I guarantee you, Phil ain't answering my text messages.
The Poison Man asks, "Is there any news on Gallup playing on Monday?" He's been a full participant in practice. The final word will be tomorrow before they get on the plane for New York. But it looks like he is going to be playing this week. He will be on a pitch count. They'll probably play him like 10 or 15 plays. Do we believe that Michael Gallup can be a game changer, or do we think that he's going to be having problems and issues and really getting back into shape this year?
You have to look at who does he replace in the lineup. Dennis Houston.
He's a game changer.
Dennis Houston leaves the lineup, so he replaces Dennis Houston. Is he better than Dennis Houston?
Just being on the field helps everybody else.
Exactly. I agree.
He goes back to being the number 3 again.
It's
okay.
Yeah, I'd have to know.
There's no number. There's gonna be.
But what's up with the rookie wide receiver? What's up with him?
Colbert.
He's going to be active this week.
Yes,
he'll probably get 2 plays in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird to me.
Yeah, I know.
Hopefully, they're both first downs.
Word out on the street is, as far as Tolbert's concerned, I keep hearing that they threw a lot at him, but supposedly he wasn't practicing very good with the right intensity, and he was making mental mistakes. If that's the case, you cannot have him in a game. Now,
put him in a bad situation.
Yeah, he has since the last couple of weeks got his mind, and he's actually, that's the hardest thing for these young kids is to come into a pro the team and actually, it ain't like cutting your routes off because you see an opening. You got to run your route to the actual inch and make the turn, and he was doing too much freelancing.
Right. He did have a big leap.
He was doing too much freelancing, and they didn't like it in practice, and it was causing issues. So supposedly he's corrected it. His attitude is a lot better, I guess, because not playing, seeing everybody play is going to be a big, that's going to be a big motivator for this young kid. So I think that's what it was. I think, knock on wood, I think he's ready to roll because he's. I hope so. He's a good player, and they know he is.
Got his attention. Well, Dak is supposed to be getting his stitches out tomorrow before the game.
What's up, Randy?
I do not know if he is going to be there in New York. I would imagine that he is going to be there. Taking out stitches is not rocket science. Basically, it's clip and pull with a pair of tweezers. Mike Fisher equals legend in his own mind. Okay. The Saints ain't nobody. Okay. What's on the menu for game day? I'm probably not going to have that many people here because it is a work night and stuff. We're going to have an Italian sub, okay? Because Jason Garrett. Hopefully, the Giants have to spit out their Italian sub, and of course, Jobu wings and things. Tomorrow we'll have some glizzies and meatball subs.
Hey, calm down with
Mark.
the glizzies, Mark.
Hey, man, listen.
Dude.
What's that, a hot dog?
Hot dog, yeah.
Christopher.
Just call it what it is. It's a fucking hot dog.
It's a hot dog.
exactly.
Okay, we're gonna have some chili dogs. Look, it was Rio and DMV that kept talking about the glizzy.
Don't do Washington things. Okay?
And Angelica Barone.
Little short.
DV likes
he was
himself
doing too much.
a glizzy.
Hey, Mark.
Okay, now speaking of Washington, there's some interesting news that supposedly the NFL owners are more apt to go ahead and say, we'll vote you off the island for Dan Snyder.
Oh shit.
That broke about 4 or 5 hours ago that some owners are kind of ready
I
to
don't
go
believe that.
well, here's what I tell
Yeah,
you what.
it was in a big
I tell
report.
you what,
I believe it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
here's the thing that I
I
will
don't
say.
agree with it either, by the way.
Hold on, listen to me for 1 second here. Seeing Roger Goodell with Amazon's Jeff Bezos
Yeah,
up in a box there together. Because here's the thing. You got to understand. You got Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos takes over the Washington franchise. You can guarantee you they will get a stadium like nobody else. That dude's got more. That stadium might be in space. And I can guarantee you with them having Thursday night football and trying to get Sunday ticket, that's a partnership that they probably would like. And it's got to be getting tiresome with all of the
it could be
negative
FedEx Field, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He's going to change the whole name. Everything.
I'll tell you one thing.
Well,
Speaking of Bezos,
they actually changed Redskin Park's name to Ortho Virginia Training Center, which is actually my orthopedic surgeon that did the work on my knee is Virginia Ortho. So things are changing slightly in Washington.
I just think that's a slippery slope, Mark. Like you're taking somebody's. I mean, I understand there's a lot there with him, but when it goes to whether it's Robert Kraft or Jerry Jones having baby mamas out there,
Well, okay. Well, here's the problem.
There's a lot.
No, but here's the latest thing that came out is supposedly one of his female employees, he was hitting on, forced her into a limousine and this, that, and the other. He denies it, but it turns out Washington paid her $1.6 million and fired her with a non-disclosure agreement, and that news is coming out. So before it was plausible deniability, it was like, it was Jay Gruden who, had the cheerleaders there and out, taking their passports away and having to sleep with season ticket holders. It's just like they keep getting deeper and deeper and more of this stuff. And, at some point they kind of have to say enough is enough. Now you're hurting the brand.
That ain't going to get him canned.
Look at Jerry Jones.
Is the money he's stealing from the other owners.
That was going to be a
that will vote him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry Jones had paid off the he put money at the cheerleaders. With the whole Rich Dowler ripple.
Yeah, but he wasn't the one.
Listen, if you hide it, you're just as much as if you're covering something up, you're just as responsible. I mean, you could say, "Well, I didn't rape her, but I hit the person."
But see, not all owners are equal, though.
I hear you. I'm just saying.
You look at Jerry Jones, who has brought more money to the NFL than anybody else. Jerry Jones, who was negotiating that collective bargaining agreement. What has Dan Snyder done for the NFL besides take their money?
I agree that the owners will use this as an opportunity.
Worst stadium in the NFL. Look, you got the worst stadium in the NFL. You're not making money, and the money you are making, you're stealing from the rest of them.
Right.
You got sewage dumping on fans.
Right. And so, if anybody is going to get voted out, that's the guy that would be. So I'm just putting it out there. And probably every Washington fan out there would be happy as shit if they were.
Yeah, I think I would love it too. I mean, shit, I think I'd like it anyway, just because it'll be a nicer place to visit. But, you don't want to see Snyder leave if you're a Cowboys fan.
I love these comments like Brennan. Dak ain't it! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! So is Cooper Rush it?
Listen, man. At week 12 last year, Dak Dak was leading the MVP vote, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
37
here's the thing about Dak too. When he got hurt and he was out for those games, for the next 5 games, he led the NFL in passer rating, and he wasn't even playing.
Yeah, I know. Listen, this is that's just where we're at. These days, if you have one bad game, I think they want to stir up controversy that way. I think that's what it is.
I got a random question about. I don't know how y'all feel about not Stephen A. or Skip Bayless. I don't know.
Skip.
It's hard to watch him sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't know. He's contradicting himself. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. When he says "my Cowboys," that's
hits on the table. Hey,
I had a book. I had the Cowboys book that was written by Bayless, and when he talked about Dak's brother, that some bitch went right in the garbage.
Yeah, like he says a lot of crazy stuff. He does.
I'll never respect him for what he did to Troy Aikman. Yeah, he basically said he was a homosexual.
That was
all because Troy never came out and said, "No, I'm not." He didn't give him the time of day. He just ran with this. He's gay BS, and you don't do that to people. And now he goes, "My Cowboys." You're not a Cowboys fan. You're only a Cowboy fan when you win. Come on,
right?
Bro.
Then they throw the jersey in the trash.
Part.
I'm like, hey, come on. I don't like that.
It's about 130 pounds. Wouldn't know a football from a hockey puck.
But I got a question. Brian, that junk that he did. If they would have been on the streets, Skip Bayless would have got shot.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but like you see him sitting there with Shannon. You don't think Shannon's saying, I know he likes him. Maybe you just want him. He probably wants to reach over and grab his little tiny neck and just pop his head off because he don't. He's just a talking bobblehead. He doesn't.
He screams a lot. Again, like I don't know. He screams.
I got a question.
Go ahead,
for Christopher.
Yes,
Christopher.
Sir.
Yo, what you doing October 2nd? I'll be going tailgating. It's right around where you at.
Hey,
sparking up is what you're doing.
I watch the games at the crib because I be ready to fight when I watch the game. So I watch it by myself. It was like for real. Nah, no lie.
I get pissed off.
October 2nd. What game is it?
That's the Washington game.
Hey, next week. Yeah. Hey, what's up? We can link up at my
It'll be a Rock's house.
They
It'll
have
be
a whole little section right there.
Shit. Maybe I should fly to Texas for that.
Yeah. On the daily.
I'm over here chilling. Let's go.
Hey,
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
They call Rock's house the space station.
Oh,
we gotta link up.
On the second thought, I think I'll keep my head. Okay. All right. I ain't passing that Dutchie from the left-hand side. Okay.
You're going to keep it for yourself. I got you.
There you go.
Yeah, Michael Anthony Fitness will take it for you. He may choke to death, but he'll take a hit.
Sure.
That was fun.
Does anybody, am I crazy to think that the Cowboys will get better as the season goes on?
No,
they're going to get better.
Because
they're going to get better.
Well, I think, and reason being is, I think Tyler Smith, from week 1 to week 2, took major leaps, and I'm hoping that they don't take him from tackle and move him to guard. I worry about messing with too many positions on the offensive line that you lose that cohesion, and just let him stay there, right there at tackle. That would be my thing.
Yeah, you bring that up, and this goes back to Randy. I had said in our group text, no, because I had heard Broadus say that they're going to leave Tyler. They're going to move Tyler in and put Peters.
Right.
That was wrong, and Randy was right. They are going to use. I think he's going to come in as an extra. He may not even start tonight.
No, I don't think he will either.
But he's going to play left guard
one week in.
Yeah, when Farniak starts to shit the bed or whatever, he will come in and play left guard. Yeah.
I don't like the way Farniak played last week.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they're actually practicing Peters at right tackle, which we got our swing guy if that's the case.
Right.
Now, I'd rather just put him at left guard and have an unbelievably powerful
left
line.
side, yeah.
And then when you have McGovern, you Ferguson, but even McGovern a fullback, or you slide McGovern out to the left side. Yeah, good luck at trying to stop those three guys, and giving the ball to Zeke. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
And so you look at this and say the offensive line should get stronger and better as they play.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark.
Okay, we'd like to think that Michael Gallup is going to be able to stay healthy and get on the field. And he's got to be better than some of the guys that are playing right now. Maybe not right out the bat, and it may take a couple of games before he is truly a full go. But our prospect at wide receiver before, we were talking about maybe November before he gets on. If he gets back and can help us, help now be another weapon, then CD becomes a little more effective. Okay, so you look at that and say maybe the receiving core isn't as bad as we think. And contrary to Dak ain't it, and stuff like that. I think when Dak gets back, and hopefully they don't rush him back too soon before that thumb is ready, you look at that and say you've got your franchise quarterback. I just think that this team is going to get stronger as the season goes on.
And I'm excited for Mark Monday night. I'm excited for Lawrence Taylor being in the house.
Yeah.
All this crap talk about, listen, the elephant in the room, people, barring injury, he's going to have 20 sacks this year. Michael Parsons is going to have 20 sacks. Whether he wins, he goes over the number. I think, what is it, 23? I don't know.
It's 22 and a half is the record.
He's going to have over 20 sacks. I'm telling you right now, he's going to have a 4-sack game. He may only have a 1-sack game, but that's he's going to have 20 sacks.
I don't even think he'll have a 1-sack game. I feel like
I think his hardest game is already gone.
Season,
was Brady.
That game.
It was Brady, because Brady gets rid of the ball. He could have 3 Monday night. He could have 3 just rolling out of bed.
And it's just not even hard to run the line.
The Packers. They got to be concerned with the Packers' offensive line.
Yeah, but say if you get 4 on Monday, you get 1 there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's where it gets to be interesting, because Tom Brady's sack percentage is throughout his career, 4.7%. So
that's what I'm saying. He got 2.
That's crazy.
Daniel Jones is 12.7.
Right. He could have 4 Monday night.
Yeah.
He could have 4.
And then you play Washington the next week against Carson Wentz.
And what is his?
It would be crazy, but it's possible to see 10 in the first 4 games.
See, the problem is that you guys aren't taking into consideration that Evan Neal came out and said he's not scared of Parsons. So
you don't have to be scared to get your ass kicked.
You don't have to be scared of it.
Okay, all right.
He's another player. He puts his shoes
I thought that was the most
same way I
hilarious
put my
shit.
shoes on too.
Yeah,
I ain't scared of you,
man. Parsons.
There we go, Mark. You ready?
Looks
Where's
at
my bitch?
his pants, and the pants just jump on. So
where's my bitch?
Yeah, there's my bitch. Yeah, you can talk is cheap, okay? And there's a lot of people who used to say that about Lawrence Taylor too, and then they found out the hard way.
Well, that's what's going to be neat on Monday night, because he's going to be there. Mike is going to have a good game, and then what's the epistle
in New York?
All you got to do is take Saquon out of the game. That's it.
Yep.
That's what I said, Randy. That's what I mean. You got to limit the big runs. You have to limit that one big run. He might get it, and they may get a cheap score off of it. It might be a screen pass that goes for 60 yards.
Jones only threw for 175 yards last week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so Tony's not playing, and his other receiver's not playing, so he's missing his targets.
Tony's not playing?
No, because there's Tony is out.
Yeah, they're pretty much. He hasn't practiced all week. He's doubtful.
Yeah, he's in the
Say what you
doghouse.
want about him, Thomas, but that's one explosive guy.
Well, he was explosive.
out.
Actually, he was explosive against us. He had those 10 catches for like 139 yards.
He's
since that time,
explosive.
he hasn't done a whole lot.
But you know how we always seem to bring the best out of everybody.
Yeah.
The second coming to Odell Beckham, catching shit with his hand. He has 2 fingers.
Tony's
But
in the
yeah,
doghouse,
I mean,
with the Giants.
That's why I said right now they're all game planning against the running back. 'Cause that's really the only guy that can beat him. That's the only guy that can beat him. It's Saquon Barkley. I think he can do enough
you
himself.
want Daniel Jones throwing the football.
Yeah, keep him. Yeah, exactly.
You definitely want him throwing the football.
And and I said it a couple of nights ago. What's the name? The other receiver.
Galladay.
Tooney?
Galladay.
Oh,
Yeah,
Galladay.
Galladay.
Galladay can't get on the field.
Galladay been going around whining and crying. I told everybody, I said, man, y'all ignore that. That may be a mind thing. That may be something to throw Dallas off. Ignore that.
Yeah, that's Kenny G, we call him. So I better, he plays that smooth jazz.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. I mean, he's done nothing in New York. They want to cut him, but they can't because it'll take too much of a hit. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And this goes on to what Stephen Jones says about big name free agents.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I know.
There is a point. And if the Cowboys end up somehow making the playoffs or winning the division, you know that Stephen Jones is going to be pulling up his pants. Look at the team that we built.
Yeah,
right?
Well, all I got to say is look at what Buffalo's doing this year. And barring anything major, they're going to be in a Super Bowl. It's quite easily that they're going to be in the Super Bowl. And what did they do? They went out, and the only reason why they're going to because they went and got a guy like a Von Miller.
True.
And that's adding via free agency.
A good team. I agree.
Yeah, that's adding. It's both. It's not one.
Problem
it's not the other.
Is
it's adding.
We have good players. We just end up not having enough to get over the hump. The one other thing that I'll say that is different about this team, and we've already actually seen some of it, is typically we have tons of Pro Bowl players, be it, Sean Lee and Jason Witten, Tyron Smith, and Travis Frederick. But when we lose one of those guys in the past, when we had Sean Lee one year, we were like only giving up 83 yards a game. Sean Lee goes out and running the football. We start giving up like 180 yards. You think about Tyron Smith going out and Chaz Green coming in. We literally would go to shit losing a player or two. The fact that we lost Jaron Kearse and you have Donovan Wilson come in and you don't skip a beat. And the fact that we've been, we lost Tyron Smith in the past, we've lost Tyron Smith. We know that our running game has suffered. We know that everything has suffered. We know our quarterback got the hell beat out of him. We lost him and we were able to weather that storm. We have actually got, it's more important to have those backup guys, that second tier guys, to be able to pick up the slack when you lose that top tier guy. That's what New England had relied on for years. New England didn't per se have a lot of Pro Bowl players, but they had like 30 guys that they could plug and play into the system and not lose anything. What are you talking about there, Thomas? What the fuck are you doing, Thomas? He ain't even here. What? What?
Now I'm watching it. I'm listening to you and watching this college football game between Tennessee and Florida.
Ain't this
it's crazy because they call their heads in the face, and both linemen were doing it at the same time.
All right. Would you guys agree with what I was saying on that one? That we may actually once with this past draft, and you look at this, and maybe it'll be better in the next couple of years because we do have so many young guys. But we may actually be having the makings of a team that can be good for a couple of years, especially when you start looking and saying, well, Tyron Smith probably isn't going to be a Cowboy next year. The oldest guy you got left on the offensive line right now is Zach Martin. You look at the receiving core. Everybody in there is pretty young. All of a sudden, with the exception of Zeke, this team is a very, very young team that's getting a lot of experience with the young guys.
Yeah.
Next year and the year after, this is kind of like what happened in the 90s where you got a young group of guys, they were finding their way, trying to find out how to win, but they started getting together, got cohesive, and became a great team. Am I crazy on that
in the 90s?
No.
Right, better coaching than too.
Just like the Titans, the Titans, something like that.
Yeah.
Mark, we may be looking at the Wall of Dallas 3.
Well,
this could be the Wall of Dallas 3.
And if you end up being, and here's the thing that's crazy about it. if you end up doing what you did in the 90s and you go out and get a Charles Haley and you go out and get a Deion Sanders, some key players to help get you over the hump, to shift the power. That's the difference of where we are now versus where we were back then. I don't know where those guys are with Jerry Jones, but they have no risk. They won't risk anything. They won't take a chance on anybody.
Come on, defense.
But that may be the one thing that keeps them from being able to get there and being that dynasty again.
One play.
Hold on. One play there, Thomas.
No, I think we're all right. No, I think we're all right.
That's what she said.
I don't know, but I like our defense. Boy, we held Tom Brady to 19. We held the Bengals 17.
That's what I said. That's what I said before the year. We're going to be in every game. There's going to be that one blowout game, but we're also going to beat somebody.
I don't even want that. No.
But you know what I mean? No. What I'm saying
I
is
understand
we're going to be in every game.
A realist. I got you. But
we're going to be in every game.
Knock out everybody.
Well, yeah. Sounds good.
We went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady.
They got one to get blown out by Denver last year. No, but it happens.
This year?
That hurts. Stop bringing up old stuff.
I'm just saying.
Rolando says, how are the Cowboys going to be able to pay CD and Diggs next year?
CD, what's he going
First of all, CD's got to have a good year to be talking about him getting paid. Second thing is you're going to get some money from Tyron Smith's contract. I'm sorry, he's not going to be there. Zeke Elliott, if he is here, they will redo his deal.
Yeah.
Which he's not going to get. His guaranteed money is gone right there. They may have to do something.
Where are we at with Zach Martin?
Zach Martin, you're still good for a couple more years.
Yeah, he restructured.
He restructured.
He's not going nowhere. He will retire. He will play until he wants to retire.
And I will say that the new money will start kicking in next year too. This is the thing that's crazy is people don't seem to understand that the salary cap's going to probably jump by $50 million next year.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but we're already done the 2 years of Dak's deal, so we're gonna that'll be coming up again soon. Between that, Diggs,
well, he got to earn that.
I understand, but I'm just saying, I expect that he will. I mean, he's not going to.
Right. I hope so.
Go.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what's funny to me is Dak is the only quarterback that we talk about, that anybody talks about. He got to earn that. Does anybody seen Kirk Cousins lately? That guy that's made over $200 million in his career. Does anybody say that? Nobody says he got to earn that. Or Derek Carr. That's another one.
But Kyler Murray.
I mean, come on, man. But Dak Prescott, he got to earn that.
Yeah, he's won what?
Come on,
he
man.
hasn't won nothing. He's beat us.
I said he won one game, though. He beat one game, though.
How about Deshaun Watson?
I'm saying it from
the media eyes, though. In the media's eyes, he won
from the standpoint of
it's not
as
just
a fan,
the media's eyes, but listen,
give us some wins. We got the 2 playoff games.
This ain't gonna go away.
Okay,
until we win the Super Bowl.
So hold on here. See, this is kind of shit. So when Derek Carr gets Devontae Adams, their team says, we're going to go out there and we're going to get you a great receiver. When you get Tua out there and they go out and they get Tyreek Hill, and Cedric Wilson, when you get Hurts and they go ahead and say, let's get you A.J. Brown, they go through and they bring players in there. We go through, we get rid of our best receiver who's thriving in Cleveland, something that doesn't happen, and we say, he's got to prove himself. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry. That's some bullshit.
No, he does.
That's some bullshit.
Well, why does he have to? I don't know why he has to prove himself. They're NFL players.
He has thrown more touchdown passes in a season than any other quarterback in the Dallas Cowboys history. Are you honestly going to look through last year and say that Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard in the second half of the season helped him out? Are we going to say that having the offensive line last year that was shit the second half, that had more fucking penalties than anybody else, and we're only going to say, well, that quarterback, he got to earn his money or else he doesn't get another contract? Come on, man. Stop being short-sighted like that. That's bullshit. You can look around
I
all
understand.
these other quarterbacks out here. Lamar Jackson about to get paid too. What? Okay, he got an MVP. How many playoff games has he won? The same amount as Dak Prescott. I don't hear nobody saying that about Lamar Jackson. Kyler Murray just got a $230 million contract. Nobody said he's got to earn that. Deshaun Watson got a $230 fully guaranteed, and he's a sexual predator. Can't even play until week 11. Nobody said he had to go out and earn that contract. Only this quarterback? Come on, man.
Mojo Joe.
Everybody else out here has gone through, and they've done things to help the quarterback. Tell me what they have done to help this quarterback.
Can I rebuttal?
Go ahead.
Get him, Chris.
I don't like all of those other quarterbacks. Like, I put so much energy and effort like into Dak Prescott. Like, I want to see this man do good. Like, you know what I mean? So when I say he got to earn it, I mean, like, every time Dak Prescott does something, he doesn't get his respect. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's set records that a lot of quarterbacks haven't. But it's disappointing to be a Cowboy fan and to see him come up short, like, in the most craziest situations. Like, I don't know.
I agree with you.
Can you blame Dak or can you blame Kellen Moore for that, or the offensive coordinator?
I'm over Kellen Moore. Okay, I'm done
it's
with
a
Kellen
collective
Moore.
blame. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it goes on a lot of people, but Prescott gets he's the antenna. It goes through him. Like,
you're missing the point of 26 years of Jerry Jones fucking this thing up. From the time Jerry Jones said, with the team I put on the field, that any number of 500 coaches out there could end up winning. They did the same shit because Tony Romo was a good enough quarterback to win a Super Bowl, but they did not support his ass until it was too late, that his body had literally broken down. It's all about the show for Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is throwing a fucking grenade in the locker room talking about a quarterback controversy. I think the team is smart enough not to fall into this, but this is the shit that Jerry Jones is doing. If we went out there and we said, you know what, we know Tyron Smith is going to be a problem. We're going to go out and get a legitimate, backup for him. Let's get Jason Peters before the season and get him in shape so that way he's ready to go. No, we end up doing shit that's reactive. We go through and we have one receiver who's only in his third year who's had a freaking touchdown catch. And we say, we're better off without Amari Cooper. You are handicapping the man right there. We expect him to be able to overcome Jerry Jones, and ain't nobody been able to overcome Jerry Jones.
It's gone from his rookie season when he come in and won, I think it was 11 in a row.
Man,
I think he won 11 games in a row.
Yes.
Okay.
Prescott, 13.
Yeah. So he didn't lose anything.
We won 13 total, but it was like 11
but
in a row.
I'm saying he ran off 11 in a row, which, it wasn't Tony as much as Dak. They
with no expectation.
Right. But he's had his downs. Yes. You could see that he's put in a lot of work off the field. You could see it. You could see.
Right.
Just look at it. I'm talking about last year, like 3/4 of the way through, he was the leading candidate to win the MVP.
Right.
This isn't me.
And the guy. Okay. And
this
the
isn't
guy
me
who
saying it.
Okay.
These are facts. He was leading the league in passer rating. So I don't give a shit what ESPN, Fox, and NFL Network says, because all they want to do is troll, because they know that pissing us off is what's good for business. It's the fellow Cowboys fans that I'm more upset with. What do you want this man to do? I understand. Right. We're not going to stop it until we win a Super Bowl. That was my whole thing going into this. It's not a Dak thing. It's a Dallas thing. We can't talk about our shit anymore. It's expired. Okay, I'm tired of dealing with it, but it's true. We haven't won in 27 years. Sorry, Jerry, that's embarrassing. There's only 3 teams. I
understand what you're saying, Mark. Like, I really appreciate what he's done instead of adding for more.
You want to see him go to another team and win a Super Bowl and say he was a missing link? I don't want to see that, because that's what's going to happen.
Well, okay, but here's the thing.
We have seen so many players on our teams go to different teams and win a Super Bowl.
You can see him going to a team.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I apologize for going off.
Woozy almost did it last year.
Here's the thing, though. Last year, Aaron Rodgers wins MVP with the same amount of TD passes as Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott actually threw more yards. The only difference that Aaron Rodgers had better than Dak was, I think he had 6 less interceptions. They both lost in their first playoff game. Yet he got paid $50 million for the year. Nobody said, well, Aaron Rodgers got to do better than that. It's the same position. Exactly the same thing happened to the Cowboys, happened to Green Bay. People say, oh, Deshaun Watson is great. Deshaun Watson, 4-12. 4-12.
Right.
Nobody said, well, Deshaun
But
Watson.
they both
Right?
had
They always
scandals
say
off the field too.
scandals happened after that 4-12 season. The scandals happened and he wasn't on the field. The year before, he was 4-12. But everybody talked about, oh, well, Deshaun Watson, he threw for more yards than anybody else. So that wasn't garbage time on a 4-12 team? Right? They were 4-12.
Yeah, I mean, I agree
he
with
led
you.
the league in yards, man. Deshaun Watson is great. They were 4-12. Dak, we end up having winning records. Oh, it's garbage time. Come on. It's a different narrative when it comes to Dak Prescott.
They only pull the years.
When you hear these things all the time, you begin to believe this shit.
They only pull the years and the stats that fit their argument.
Yeah.
I mean, like the latest one was, well, Dak against playoff teams is 15 or 12-21 or whatever.
And Aaron Rodgers has a losing record.
Exactly. But they don't show you his overall winning percentage is up there with anybody. You can only play. You play. I mean, his overall winning percentage
Mike
as a starting
says,
quarterback
can you explain
is right there with anybody.
how Dak Prescott is inaccurate yet has the 4th best completion percentage last year?
Huh?
There you go. I just saw Cop Pizzle. Did you see his latest video, Mark? He's saying it's going to be biblical. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. You gave him way too much credit for throwing a football. He looked like a 6-year-old girl throwing that football, Mark. I'm sorry, and I will call him out to his face. Learn how to throw a football before you start talking shit.
I've thought about getting into
my
this.
man.
I've just kind of like enjoyed him literally wanting. I just love leaving him wanting and all that.
As soon as he called Mark an SOB, I was done.
Are you not entertained? Yeah, but he's trolling him. But I just go look at him. He doesn't have like one athletic bone in his body. And he wants to talk about geeks? Come on, bro. Look in the mirror.
Man, I ain't thinking about Cop his snot nose ass.
Oh,
come on, man. He lives in the woods.
That's all he is a snot nose punk.
I thought about this.
I want to know how many takes it took to throw the football in the trash can, Mark. You know it wasn't the first take. It probably took him all day.
Yeah.
Brian, all he has is Mike muscles. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, we all have that.
He's okay. Hey, don't talk about my son now. Come on now. But
I
actually thought about doing the live stream and having him on live at the same time.
Touchdown, man.
So put your money.
Just the way he talks about Michael alone would piss me off. Yeah, well, that's annoying. Come on, man. That's annoying.
Here's the thing
after you bought his kids whistles for crying out loud.
Yeah. But
Baby doll.
That was a nice video.
Baby doll whistle.
That was a good video.
Which one?
The one where
60-minute man, my ass.
Where he had to admit that you were his daddy. He didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was talking to his girl.
Yeah.
He was mad about it.
Now,
yeah.
He's hoping upon hope, but he knows deep down. He knows that Micah Parsons is the real deal, and he don't want to,
That's the thing with Giant fans. That's where I hope Micah Parsons goes off on Monday night, man.
4 sacks. That's what I'm calling. 4 sacks. Mr. Battery calling it.
It ain't us that brought up the whole Lawrence Taylor comparison. It was the ESPNs and the Foxes that brought up saying, "Oh my God!" It was the people who know the game that are going, "Well, look at the numbers. This shit hasn't been done."
Right, his numbers are better than his numbers.
And Mark didn't say he's better. He just said his rookie year was comparable, was actually better, but Mark didn't go that far. He just said it was comparable to Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah,
I'm sorry that you are so appalled that we compared him to Lawrence Taylor.
Well,
Hey, well, maybe we should stop being so apologetic and just get more disrespectful.
You might be right there.
I tell you what, if you watch the video I
You
did
might be
earlier
right
today,
there.
I've got some people that are saying, this is like your 8th video about Micah Parsons. It's like, I used to talk about Dak Prescott all the time. They say, oh my God, stop talking about Dak. Now I talk about Micah. You talk about Micah Parsons all the time. It's just like, okay, no matter what I do, somebody's going to bitch. But
Micah Parsons is the one thing about Dallas
that gives you
Micah is the one thing that I don't think about. Look at his demeanor. He's always pissed. He just wants to. He just wants to get up and hit the quarterback again. He's the one guy when I go to bed at night.
Right.
I don't have to worry about Micah Parsons. He's bringing it, and you better bring it, or something will get hurt.
Yeah.
Hey, I like
He's gonna bring it.
He's gonna be like, give that guy some milk.
He's just got that nasty look the whole time. Even when he's winning, he's like, all right, it's good, but I want to get you one more time before I get out of here.
I want to know what's fueling him. I want to know what's going on behind the scenes that makes him that pissed.
What's up, Corey? What's up, big guy?
But it's controlled.
It's his bringing up. His father. Everything was, you've got to earn it. You want to leave school a year early?
Got lucky.
Okay, then you've got to go ahead and earn it. And he has always had that. You have to earn that shit, and you have to put in the work for it. It literally was known as the water boy growing up.
He's a guy who's going to get the money, and you'll never know.
Yeah.
You'll never know that he has the money. He ain't gonna. That's just the type of guy he is. Dude, he's nasty in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got that drive to be great, and I don't worry about him. I do not worry.
His type is when you go into the gym and you don't see him have headphones or anything. He's burning nothing but hate.
Yeah, he ain't wearing deodorant either to worry about your feelings. He's stinking and he's just
I don't know about all that one, but okay.
if they run into the
He's a lion.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers again.
Oh, what's that?
If they run into
the Bucs again, he's going after Leonard Fournette.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was real too.
Yeah. He got
I think Leonard Fournette kind of shut up a little bit.
He would definitely pull a Charles Haley on that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that Parsons is the type of guy who thinks about something before taking your head off. I think he'll take your head off and go, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Yeah.
Hey, you got a point, Waterboy. That's a good movie too.
Now I tell you what,
my bitch.
The best thing that happened to Micah Parsons was J-Ron Curse last year.
I know, right?
Became the guy with the green dot. If Micah Parsons had that J-Ron Curse became the guy with the green dot, because having Micah Parsons, just having him focus on I'm getting to the quarterback. Right. And to have him have 17 sacks and he's only lined up as a defensive end 60% of the time is still unbelievable. And, as far as Lawrence Taylor, and maybe we need to stop comparing those two together, because some of the things that Micah has done are things that Lawrence Taylor wasn't doing. To see him covering a guy down the field is not something we've seen, Lawrence Taylor doing. But
he's not on that.
17 sacks that Micah has is the same number of sacks that Lawrence Taylor had through 2 seasons. His 3rd season, he only had 9 sacks. So it's actually conceivable that Micah Parsons at the end of this year could have more sacks than Lawrence Taylor had in his first 3 years. Think about that for a second.
Let's get aggressive. Let's throw that out there. Put that on the on the title of the next video.
Forget LT. He's on his own playing it.
Hey, that's crazy.
But we'll wait. I tell you what, we'll wait till after Monday night and see what happens. If
we can't get ahead of ourselves.
If he goes out there and gets 2 or 3 sacks, then you start talking about him being on his own planet.
That's why I want to see us get a 10-point lead. That would be the best thing. Make them have to throw the ball, because if they know and we know, the best way they have to win is to run the ball. Mm-hmm. That's a Giants' way to win. And I'm calling a special teams touchdown. Turpin's going to the house.
I was thinking that.
He's going to the house. The last couple of games, he's been this close. He's been right there. Last game, he should have had one.
I think the Giants are last in special teams, if I'm
Mark
sure.
my words. It's going to be a special teams touchdown by Turpin. So
I feel like we're gonna
I
get
can
at
see
least,
that.
at least
You
two
win one, and
or
you
three
think you're
picks.
world
I think
beaters.
Diggs gets his first
I
pick.
was gonna say Diggs was gonna get
Yeah,
his first
sorry,
pick
Blue
on
Virus.
this
Go
one.
ahead, man.
Yeah,
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I
No,
see
no.
that
No,
too.
I just feel it. He's too good not to.
Yeah. No, it's been too. He's
They're
been waiting on
gonna
it.
beat
He's
the
been waiting.
Spurs in this game Monday night.
And Danny Dimes will throw the ball up, and Diggs likes to bait like a little bit. Like give the
he does
receiver
a
some,
lot.
and then close up
A lot.
the distance. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm hoping for.
Let me answer. Junior says I think
No, I'm
Dallas.
praying to the gods. Football gods.
I mean,
Junior says I think Dallas should switch back to the 3-4 defense when they ranked at top 5 when they've run that in the past with Demarcus Ware previously.
they're going to be a hybrid.
They're
gonna do it all.
hybrid. They basically are looking at different matchups, and the good thing about what they have is they have the player personnel where they can kind of switch between them. Now that you've got the big guys and Quentin Bohannon and Tristan Hill and things, but you also have the fast defensive linemen like OC and Carlos Watkins and things like that. So they're going to use those different ones. And they're doing some stuff that's kind of crazy where they literally have one down defensive lineman and everybody's standing up. And they just have more speed than anybody else. But the key that I've been trying to point out to people, and people, everybody just kind of follows the quarterback, the ball, and the receivers and stuff. But watch what happens on the defensive line, the offensive line. You can see the games that are being played with it, and pay attention to the spacing, because that's key in stopping in defense. You can have 10 guys that are doing the right thing. If one guy doesn't do the right thing, you're screwed.
That's a fumble.
And one final thing on this, you see that Leighton Vander Esch and Anthony Barr are actually playing really, really well. The reason is that defensive line is keeping those guards from getting to the second level. They're able to have a clear, unmolested view of the field, and they're able to scrape and fill without having to shed a block. And see, these are subtle things that most people don't notice or don't understand, but they're key. It doesn't show up in the stats when you have a Quentin Bohannon who only has 4 tackles, and you say, oh, he's a bum, he's only got 4 tackles. That's not his job. His job is to make sure that Micah Parsons and make sure that Vander Esch and that Anthony Barr are able to do the job and get the glory. And this is where this defense is good.
And hopefully
our cornerback and safety play is playing pretty good too.
Well, the other part of this
playing
too.
this week or not?
Is who?
Who?
J-Ron?
Curse.
I think he's close, but I'm not sure if they've determined if he's going to be playing or not.
I'm Marvin Wilson.
I think.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. How to go?
J-Ron Curse. If he's playing.
I'm not overly worried about that Monday night. I think the way Wilson played, he played like he did 2 years ago, and I think the key is that he's on the field.
Yeah,
you got to play. If you don't, it's almost like Leighton Vander Esch. Everybody hated Leighton last year. Leighton's had a great year. All he's doing is making tackles.
Well,
that's because he's on the field.
I think he's really good.
Leighton has had a good year so far.
Yeah, because he's on the field. He's getting into a rhythm. I think that's common. It's hard to me. It would be hard for a player to sit and just go in and situational play. It's tough,
right?
So
he's quietly having a good year.
Yeah,
but he's because Parsons is having a great
doing some things at the right time of the game.
Yeah,
and not to bring up any negative, but obviously Jabril re-injured something.
Yeah, because
some setback.
But it's been real low key as to what he actually did. He hasn't been active the first 2 games.
Happened because I noticed that Anthony Barr's been a lot of playing time.
Right.
And Anthony Barr's been playing well.
Looks a lot better.
Yeah, and he has played well too.
Yeah, Barr's been good.
Again, another one of the bargain basement signings by the Cowboys. And as much as we hate that we're not signing the big name guys, the guys we're talking about right now, when you start talking about J-Ron Curse and the Malik Hookers and the Carlos Watkins and the Wilsons, these were bargain basement guys that we got dirt cheap.
Oh, like Anthony Barr. Okay, if he's only going to get better. That first game, he didn't have his legs under him. My only thing with that way of thinking is, Mark, is instead of signing a Barr for maybe a couple years with an option or something and give him more money and lock him in, he's going to outplay. He's probably not going to be here. We'll get a comp pick next year, but that's not. We can't ever carry anything over. It's like, I mean, if Barr continues and he's really steps up and he starts getting sacks.
Yeah, but the hope is that you have your Jabril Coxons of being able to be that guy.
Listen, the hope of Jabril is it may always be hope because this is already he's not going to do much right now.
Well, and then you also have what's his name with the cracked vertebrae. Damon Clark.
Oh yeah, the guy from LSU.
You look at that and say, okay, hopefully next year these young guys that we've got that were injured.
Supposedly he could play now. He doesn't have any pain in it. It's just they're holding him out for his own safety because they know.
The problem is, though,
that type of injury you don't want. You want to make, even when you feel good, you want to make sure you want to give it extra time. So,
but here's the thing that still kills me is how the NFL gets ready for the season. It's still only 14 padded practices, and they don't really hit in practice. Right now, this is training camp the first month of the season. This is literally, a lot of these guys, week 1 was the first time they were tackled since last season. It's the first hit they've had, because you don't really practice. And so now bringing him in now, you only have 11 padded practices during the season. And they're not padded practices like we had in high school after we played a game on Friday night. Come Monday, we're hitting the sled, hitting each other in full tackle. These are padded practices that are kind of padded practices in name only. You're not really hitting.
But the players voted for this.
Well, of course they did. Because
of course they did.
Who wants to practice? Nobody
Micah
wants
Parsons
to
does.
Okay, Mike.
should bring back 2 days.
Well, he wasn't one of the ones that really voted.
This is where, though, I disagree with Dallas's philosophy in not adding some more impactful free agents, knowing that.
Yeah.
Why are we going with 100% young, drafted team that outside of a Micah Parsons, it's going to take you some time to get going in the NFL. Not everybody comes out and does what he's doing, obviously. Well, you go out and get yourself a veteran. A free agent who doesn't need that, has already been through the wars, already knows how to do everything, can come in and hit the ground running. Okay, Anthony Barr he took one game to get his feet wet, and you saw what he did last week. And I think you're going to see this week he's going to be even better. That's what the veterans do for you.
I'm gonna play the devil's advocate on that, though.
Of course.
In 2020, we did that, and they didn't bust a grape. I mean, we had Gerald McCoy, we had Clinton Ha-Ha-Dix, we had Don Terry Poe, we had Emerson Griffin.
That was bottom of the barrel, Mark. That wasn't high
didn't
end.
even make the season.
That wasn't high end.
That was higher end than what we've been signing recently.
McCoy
Von Miller would have been a good pick.
Gerald McCoy
Von Miller obviously is the light that's blinking right now, saying boop boop boop. He said he wanted to play. He would have took less money, and he's still upset. And what is he doing? He's taking quarterbacks' heads off.
Okay, but we also talked about Bobby Wagner, right? But Bobby
he's a linebacker.
Wagner, it's kind of like, okay. But
I was on board with Barr, so I'm fine with not having Wagner.
Here's the thing, though. Right now, when you look at what we're doing, I don't know that you necessarily had to have Von Miller.
Wait a little bit.
No, I'm not saying you don't.
It's kind of
right
mushy.
now, Mark, you're not. But in a championship game setting, to have to rely on a rotation, we may come up a little short when we would have a guy like Barr who's not going to come up short. That's all. I mean, it's not for any one game. It's for in that moment where everything is on the line.
I agree with you on
We're going to have
we're not talking about. It's having a great season. Is Dante Fowler.
Yes, and that's the thing I was saying, that between Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong, you got 3 sacks.
Well, I'm not here to argue that their numbers put together aren't going to be way better than Randy Gregory, because they will be. They will be way better than Randy Gregory's numbers.
Right now, Dorrance Armstrong's numbers and Randy Gregory are about similar.
But why couldn't you have Anthony Barr with the rookie spelling him, or even Dante Fowler is not a deal breaker. He took the minimum.
Yeah.
So
all these guys basically took the minimum.
So I'm saying, so you could have that elite guy But we'll see. I mean,
Or-
Dorrance is hot and cold,
Or
so we'll
you
see.
could have actually kept Amari Cooper.
We could have got Ndamukong Suh,
Right there.
Von Miller, and
Bobby Wagner.
for $10 million.
For 1 year, but they
Yeah.
ballooned down the road. That's the problem with it.
Right.
Is you're guaranteed
I just
you're kicking it can down the road. Yeah. That's what they were
I
paid
thought
this year.
Bob Wagner chose not to be on the Dallas Cowboys.
Listen, I
He
think
had options.
that loss is limited because we got Anthony Barr, and I like
Right.
Anthony Barr better. He fits
I like
better in
Anthony
our
Barr
scheme.
better too. Yeah.
You know, watching
It's a
the
scheme
first
thing.
game, the first night, Bobby Wagner had a lot of tackles, but you could see that he was not the same guy that he was.
Yeah.
He's going to get tackles, but watching a couple of the hits kind of reminded me being carried
Yeah.
a little bit like Jalen Smith. Not
yeah,
that
isn't
bad,
that funny?
but then that regard.
That's exact thing where we all get caught up in the names, but
Yeah.
you see, your eyes are telling you that he's not the Bobby Wagner of old.
Right.
That doesn't mean he's not a good player, but you know, I wasn't devastated that they didn't get Bobby. Now that we got Barr, if we didn't get Barr and Cox is hurt, and you know maybe we're struggling there, whereas I don't think we're going to be. I think, man, we got so many options now. So many options.
Well,
the
going
fact
into
that
the
we don't have
season-
to leave Parsons at ends and move him around is beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, going into the season, we
Thank you,
said we
Dan
were
Quinn.
before we signed Anthony Barr, we were worried about the depth on the linebacker because at one point we were looking at Luke Gifford being a starter.
Yeah.
You know, at our linebacking core, but getting Anthony Barr there truly made the difference. Van Der Esch, like we said, Van Der Esch is playing like he did almost as a rookie. And Micah Parsons makes everybody better because he's getting to the quarterback where they've got 2.25 seconds at most to get rid of the football. And when you get somebody like a Carson Wentz or a Daniel Jones that holds the football, that's their ass. I'm sorry.
I think it
That's
ultimately
their
comes
ass.
down, Mark. I think it comes down to the original thing where we got the guys in the middle to stop the run.
Yep.
Jam up the line, which allows our linebackers
Keep the
to play
quarterback from being
sideline
able
to
to step up.
sideline, shoot the gap. Yeah, I don't want to. We're already at an hour and a half, but that's what pisses me off about losing Ridgeway because he has so much potential that we were willing to just gamble with it. You know, it just makes you wonder what they're thinking because they kept Houston and then after 2 games they cut him. So what were they thinking? Now they brought him back, but their whole philosophy is just fucked up. I mean, what are you doing? You let the Washington Commanders
here's the thing I wonder though: can you go from being playing and then go back to practice squad without going on waivers? That's my question because I don't know how the rule works. Because that's the only
if you're a
You might have to wait. Right?
is can you go from having played and then go back on the practice squad? Because to me that would make sense if it was. That's the reason why that they were taking Houston and moving him back to practice squad because they were getting ready to bring Jason Peters up or something.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
In which case you have to go through waivers to get back on the practice squad. Yeah. That was the only thing in there. I don't know how the rule
why
goes.
you do that with Ridgeway, man. I think we're going to be looking back on that move.
Yeah.
You know,
Danny Amendola.
I think we're going to look back on there, and he only needs a year in the NFL program, and it's just that was my guy, and it's like he's going to be with Washington. He's going to be up your, what. Mark, he's going to be like sticking it in your face.
And think about where Quentin Bohannon was last year.
I love that. Exactly.
To this year.
That's the perfect point.
Yeah.
Look where he was last year.
Yeah.
And now look at him.
He's a
so
starter.
what would Ridgeway be next year?
And again, believe me, it hurts me because I've got a John Ridgeway Cowboy jersey in there.
But
what the hell am I going to do with that?
So, Brian, I said it once before. The Joneses are good business people and salespeople, but football people, they're not.
Dan Quinn did not look happy, Thomas. He said he's going to be a great player in this league. He said that. Why would you expose a guy like that?
Yeah, they said.
Why would you do that?
Well, they thought they thought that they could be cute and that they would be able to pull it off.
Well, they thought wrong. So now we got to deal with him.
Houston would have got claimed because he was a starter for 2 games.
Yeah,
but like that. Yeah, I know, but Ron Rivera is an interior lineman Ron
And
Rivera.
he's big.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
expensive.
He's big, and
So
he talks
he knew
about
exactly
busting
who
heads.
Ridgeway was and what he needed.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is fucking
Rivera, he's a
bullshit.
defensive guy going all the way back to
Yeah,
his
he
Chicago
ain't
days.
stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, to bring a guy in like a Houston to a team, it's hard because, he's a young kid. You got to learn an offensive scheme. By the time you get him up and going, okay.
He's going to be over.
Yeah, so it's just frustrating. I mean, we kept the damn dude who was playing with the Texans. He's still on our roster, I think. Who am I thinking of?
Carlos Watkins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watkins is still on the roster.
Yeah.
Why not let him go and let Ridgeway have his spot? He hasn't seen the light of day.
Watkins is not that bad. Watkins was actually scheduled to be the starter,
Right.
but you ended up having everybody else elevate.
I'm not saying he's bad, but he's at the end. he's
like,
more towards the end of his career than Ridgeway at just first year.
Right.
I'm sorry, but sometimes you got to make decisions like that. You don't let a young
Jared
kid
Cowboys,
go.
Have you been hanging out with Rock? Kellen Moore is our next head coach and best offensive coordinator in the league.
Whoa.
That's Cop
Somebody
Pizzle.
was smoking the Duchess.
Yeah, right?
That's Cop Pizzle and drag right there.
Yeah, that's Cop Hill, though.
Yeah.
I don't know what
the football. He's got
smoking
to wear a
that good
skirt.
shit. Ridgeway, all talk, no bark. He's not the smart of all players. But again, you have to understand that we've gotten spoiled because we've had some players that have come in instantly and plugged in. Okay, I mean, we know that Micah Parsons is not the typical. Evan Ingram, who is starting, of course, for the Giants, number 7 pick in the draft. His ratings last week were not really good. I think Tyler Smith was about 20% higher grading than Evan Neal. You think about a lot of players, it takes a year or two. Think about Diggs when he started out his rookie season. The first half, he was average at best. He started picking it up the second half of the season. So you need to give these guys some time because they've gone from playing college football to the combine to being drafted, and now, all of a sudden we're around these grown-ass men that are moving really, really fast. It takes a little bit of time to get your feet wet in there. When will the Cowboys actually win a playoff game? Ha, ha, ha. Cowboys fan, but Kellen is shit.
Now, speaking of Damon Clark earlier, because he went to LSU, so did Brian Broaddus.
Yeah.
Broaddus, and I watched this kid's whole career. When he comes in, he's going to be a grown-ass man.
Okay. I'd love that.
Yeah, because he said he would have been a late first-round draft pick. He goes, that dude is a beast. You wait till he gets on the field.
Well, I hope so. And I'll say another person that I look forward to as the season goes on, because he's got raw strength and skill, but he doesn't know how to use it yet, and that's Sam Williams.
Yeah.
Sam has so much power and leverage, but he's raw and needs to understand when I rock that offensive tackle, I need to get rid of him and start hunting.
Right.
Yep. And he's a guy who, he's going to play a little bit more this week, I think. In there,
he threw that tackle all the way past the quarterback.
Right, and he literally went right past the quarterback. Yeah. It's like all you had to do was put your arm out, and it was a sack. So when you have that kind of strength against the tackle, now it's a matter of I rocked him, get rid of him, and go find the quarterback. And when he learns those things, and as DeMarcus Ware said, he's got the tools in the toolbox. He will be really, really good on that opposite side, too. So you look at the team. The Dallas Cowboys front seven is truly the strength of this team.
Oh, yeah.
It is unbelievable, the guys. And that's where you don't want to lose John Ridgeway, but you look at this and it's like you can't keep everybody.
No, you can't. And I think because right now, before the Giants game, they're ranked 6th in the league in defense. I think after the Giants game, they're going to be in top. I think they'll be top 3.
Well, and you think you played 2 really good quarterbacks, and you played some really good wide receivers too. This wasn't playing Carolina. This wasn't playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. You were playing Jamar Chase there. Okay, you were playing against Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and stuff.
And just like last year when we played Carolina. Carolina was 3-0,
Yeah.
had the number 1 rush defense in the league, and look what we did to them.
Destroyed them. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's where I tell people, don't get too excited by what you see in September, and don't get too upset, because we really don't know what teams are. Yeah, because at that point, Sam Darnold, people are like, oh, man, Carolina made the right move getting Sam Darnold. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
What's going
Mark,
on with...
I was telling people this after the first game of the season. I told them, I said, don't get so excited, because technically this is still like preseason.
Yeah.
This is still like preseason. You know, you're gonna see some unnamed teams gonna come out 2-0, 3-0, but once after that first wave has concluded, things change.
Yep.
So don't get so excited too quickly.
And I'm hoping that's going to be. I'm hoping that's going to be the case for the Eagles.
I mean, you got to think the Cowboys' offense didn't play no preseason snaps at all.
Yeah.
I think Dak was just rusty.
Yeah, he was. He was extremely rusty.
Giant 56, laughing my ass off. Look at these clowns really convincing themselves that the Cowboys are good. And are you convinced that your team is good there, Giant 56?
Hey, tell them I'm the best looking clown they ever seen.
Boy,
they better calm down.
All right, so we've been on here for quite a while. Game time, is prime time still here?
Now we're like we got our live stream at 7:00. So
okay, so yeah,
guys, go over and slide over.
Gotta
to
head over there.
Randy, slide over, man.
All right.
Maybe we'll zoom you in.
Yeah, definitely. So definitely check out Primetime Phil. They're going to be continuing the talk over there in about 25 minutes from now. And I'm going to get work, and getting the set and stuff set up for tomorrow. Try and get a little of this out of the way. What?
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
What do you do with that Ridgeway jersey? Because I got a Mark Cooper jersey, but it's just hanging up. I don't know what to do.
I might wear it to the Washington game.
I got a Jalen Smith jersey.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh man, right? We're in the same boat.
And actually, it was a gift from Cowboys VA. Because my whole thing was I wanted the fat boys are back, okay, and I'm actually happy that we actually have some big guys in the middle. I've been screaming and crying for wanting big defensive linemen for a long time, and we got them. And so I was I was like, man, I want to get me one. I wish I had told him Quentin Bohannon, because that's actually the one I need right now. But I'll hold on to it, and like I said, maybe I'll wear it to the Washington game, because people will look and say, what? I don't know. Okay. Who knows?
Hey, right. That would be a good one. Right. That would be nice.
Yeah.
All
I mean, I still have a Jay Ratcliffe one.
Ooh.
Right. He's like, I just keep him.
Yeah. I just hold on to him. And I usually don't get, players today, because everybody changes so quickly. Usually I'll go through, unless we know it's going to be a player that's going to be there, I usually don't get a whole lot of them. I think it might be safe to get a Micah Parsons, though.
I got mine.
True, and a CD.
Yeah, and a CD.
I got mine.
I think CD gonna show up. I believe in CD.
Both.
All right. Okay, so everybody check out Primetime Phil and my man Brian Green. They're going to be going off at 7 o'clock live. We'll be here tomorrow live streaming for the Washington and Eagles game and through the 4 o'clock game, so definitely check us out. And then, of course, Monday night we will be here, too, with the big sub. So, everybody, I appreciate everybody being here.
Hey, thank you.